When someone's life and livelihood are being destroyed night after night, could you sit idly by? That's exactly why we're here in Texas to stop wild boars from devastating local farms. This showdown would be intense. Stick around to see how we restore peace to the land. The operation began while it was still dim. We donned camo gear, laced up our tactical boots, and checked our rifles one last time before heading out in a Jeep Wrangler toward the dry pasture, a prime spot where wild boars gathered to feed near a waterhole. Knowing their habits, we tracked them closely via iPhone 17, ready to intercept. With this vast terrain, the Jeep was our advantage, allowing us to chase and position for the perfect shot. And then, bingo! As soon as the distance closed, I squeezed the trigger. The first blast didn't just start the pursuit, it echoed across the field as a statement. The crops would be protected, and the farmer's peace would soon return. That initial display of firepower cleared the stragglers, but we knew the real battle lay ahead. We dismounted and tracked deep into the sparse woods. Suddenly, a massive black shape appeared in the distance. It didn't flee. It charged straight at me, teeth bared and fierce. Reflexes honed from hundreds of hunts kicked in instantly. Danger was extreme, a hair-thin line between life and death. But for these farms, for the safety of the locals, it was a price we were ready to pay. The remaining boars panicked at the gunfire, scattered up a nearby gentle slope, oblivious to the sharpshooter watching every movement. For Blake, the rifle on his shoulder wasn't just a weapon, it was a responsibility to protect the land under siege. Now, it's hunting time! After Blake's precise shots, the surviving boars ran deeper into the terrain. We knew survival instincts would guide them predictably. As Texas heat rose toward midday, the team took positions around the lone waterhole in the area. Just as predicted, the large boar came out, distracted by the cool water. One brief lapse in vigilance was all it took. A clean, efficient takedown followed. Any destructive intruder here would meet the same fate. What we do isn't senseless killing, it's protective action, population control within the bounds of US hunting law. Victory at the waterhole was just part of the mission. We still had to track the remaining boars. Crossing the edge of the field, dry grass gave way to tall reeds, a perfect hiding spot. There it was, the enormous lead boar, rooting for food. I waited patiently for the fatal opening, and there it was! Success! A massive prey! I'd estimate nearly 200 pounds. If that shot thrilled you, give us a like. As the afternoon shadows stretched, we returned to the dry pasture for a final check. True to intuition, a few bold boars had returned, thinking we were gone. This would be the final shot of the day. Here we go! The bullet hit, but this boar was stubborn. We gave chase. It couldn't get far. The shot had done its job perfectly. Peace was fully restored to the fields and farms. Looking back at our Jeep Wrangler, we felt a deep sense of relief. This hunt reminded us that victory isn't about lucky shots. It's about patience, skill, and facing every challenge head on. And the greatest reward? Restoring peace to the land, ensuring that the farmers' hard work would not be destroyed. In the Lazio region, autumn isn't just about gathering the crops, it's the season of the hunt. Hunting wild boars here isn't just a passion, it's a heritage, passed down from father to son through generations, woven into the very fabric of this land. As a son of Lazio, my team and I prepared meticulously for this hunt, not only to protect the harvest and the livelihoods of the locals, but also to carry forward the pride of countless generations before us. Get ready for an intense journey ahead. As dawn broke, we formed our positions, surrounding the fields. From our observations, the freshly harvested and empty patches were prime spots where wild boars frequently appeared. We immediately took our stations, ready to confront the challenge. There it is! That silhouette could only be a wild boar. Adjusting my scope carefully, I squeezed the trigger. The bullet whistled through the air, striking the target dead on. Soon after, more targets emerged. Each shot was precise. Bathed in the early sunlight, our hunt kicked off with power and precision, showcasing our team's skill and seamless coordination. Continuing our scan across the fields, open clearings provided ideal conditions for long-range shots. When a target appeared, I took a deep breath, aimed steady, and fired. The bullet ended the prey's desperate flight. That moment marked a testament to skill, accuracy, and responsibility out here in the fields. As the sun climbed higher, I knew the boars would start retreating to the edges of the fields, where food was still available, but away from the harsh sun. Moving forward, I picked a perfect ambush spot and waited silently. Look, that shape is charging in. Everything set. The shot was like clockwork, clean, decisive, leaving no chance for the prey to react. We continued to scan the area, spotting lone, massive figures. Each shot hit its mark, reclaiming control over the wild landscape. From the southern part of the field came urgent news. A wild boar pack had just appeared. Nick immediately jumped into action, hopping on an off-road vehicle with teammates, speeding to the scene to stop the threat in time. Though the hogs ran fast, they couldn't outrun Nick's speed and precision, a skilled marksman known for shooting on the move. Within minutes, the threat was neutralized. Once again, our team emerged victorious in this fierce battle between field and wild instinct. While Nick's group was engaged in a fierce firefight, I kept moving, eyes glued to every sign. Suddenly, another target appeared right in my sights. The moment arrived. I pulled the trigger. The shot seemed to seal the deal, but not quite. The beast slipped beyond control. My heart clenched, a stark reminder that in the wild, nothing's guaranteed, and hesitation can mean defeat. The sun grew stronger, but fate seemed set. A wild boar pack appeared at the field's edge. This time, there was no room for error. Shots rang out, fierce, precise, rapid, like the pounding rhythm of my own heart. When the gunfire died down, only scattered boar remains lay across the field. A bold punctuation to the morning's hunt, closing it with results nothing short of perfect. The gunfire echoed through the air, accompanied by the roar of helicopters slicing through the wind. Closing in on the Boars, don't let them escape. An aerial chase like no other. From the helicopter, the devastated farmlands came into view, wild boar tracks scarring the earth. I clenched my rifle in anger, keeping a steady lock on the chaotic movement below. The herd scattered in all directions, making it nearly impossible to get a clear shot. In that split second, I squeezed the trigger, a perfect headshot. Helicopter hunting is an expensive method, but it's incredibly effective. From above, you can survey the entire area. With no obstacles in the way, the wild boars have nowhere to hide. At this moment, the sound of the helicopter sent the boars into a wild frenzy, creating complete chaos below. The more chaotic it became, the more intense the hunt felt. I locked on to my first target. A boar had separated from the herd, charging like a whirlwind, testing my sharpshooting skills. Bang! The first shot seemed to miss, and the boar continued to race away from the deadly reach. I quickly adjusted my aim. This time, I couldn't afford to miss. The bullet plunged from the sky, taking the beast down decisively. It slid across the ground, dust flying in all directions. Was this shot worth a perfect 10 for marksmanship, guys? Below, chaos unfolded as the herd of boars scattered in every direction, desperately trying to escape the aerial pursuit. The atmosphere grew frantic. Massive bodies thundered across the ground, dust swirling in every direction. We tightened our grip on the rifles, focusing on the fast-moving targets, none of which followed any predictable pattern. This time, we were determined to wipe them out. The shots rang out in quick succession. Several boars collapsed, but most of them continued their frantic dash forward. The cries, the thundering hooves, the helicopter blades slicing through the air, and the gunfire mixed with the roar of the engines, creating a scene that was both brutal and chaotic. It truly felt like a battle. We landed the helicopter in a field to the west of the village. The area had been heavily ravaged by the boars. My friend Jason took out his binoculars and scanned the distance. Hundreds of meters away, he spotted a target, a dark wild boar, scavenging through the remains of what was left. With standard firearms, taking a shot at that distance would have been impossible. Jason quickly chambered around. In a smooth, decisive motion, he brought the boar down from such a far distance. From the sky to the ground,
It was the seamless coordination between the team and our advanced equipment that formed a solid strategy to successfully complete the mission entrusted to us by the people. On the other side of the fence, a wild boar was running for food. I spotted the target. Without hesitation, I raised my rifle and squeezed the trigger decisively. The bullet flew true, striking the boar, which collapsed instantly, motionless. Perfect shot. The sound of barking dogs filled the air. From the thick bushes, a massive wild boar charged out, with a pack of hounds close behind. I chambered around. Before I could finish the shot, Jason's perfectly timed support ended the situation. We were lucky. If we'd been even a second slower, we might have been attacked. It was dangerously close. It's rare for us to face a boar so directly like this. The distance was so close. In moments like this, if you don't stay calm and react quickly, you'll lose the battle.
Wild boars, with their ability to survive in any condition and sharp tusks, not only devastate crops, causing millions of dollars in damage, but also pose a risk of spreading disease. At this critical moment, hunters must step in to stop the threats. Will this battle be enough to halt the monstrous horde? Coming up are breathtaking moments of ambush and pursuit, where courage and precision decide everything. Follow along now. A thrilling ambush is unfolding on the hills of Turkey. Nick's hunting team arrived early, taking positions to surround the area. After 15 minutes, a hunter swiftly spots his target. Without hesitation, he locks his aim and pulls the trigger. The gunshot echoes, sending the boar herd into a panicked stampede, leaving the last one's body on the cold ground. A decisive, precise shot, kicking off the relentless hunt. Not letting the prey escape, the radio immediately signals the location of a wild boar that just slipped away. Nick quickly determines its direction using the tracking device and rushes to the spot. There it is, a large, fat wild boar surrounded by the pack of hunting dogs at the base of the slope. As it steps onto the trail, a bullet strikes the beast directly, giving it no chance to flee. A clean operation, marking another victory for the team. Continuing down the hillside, Nick quickly spots a wild boar lurking in the bushes. As it emerges from the shadows, it instantly falls into his sights. Gunshots ring out in rapid succession, blocking its escape route on the trail. The beast collapses in the grass by the path, another threat eradicated from this forest. At the same time, amid the dense bushes in Spain, a top-notch ambush is being executed. Another hunting team has surrounded the area, poised and ready. Jack is intently scanning the surroundings when a wild boar suddenly bolts out of the bushes. Without a moment's thought, a precise shot rings out, dropping the beast before it can react. A lightning-fast, decisive reflex that saves this land from a destructive claw. At another position, after 15 minutes of waiting, the final beast finally appears in the hunter's sights. The gunshot rings out instantly, so fast that the boar collapses before it even realizes what's happening. Just one shot, halting the threat to this land. Continuing to track the remaining traces of the wild boars, a sudden rustling sound breaks out. The hunter immediately turns toward the noise, and at that very moment, a wild boar charges out. Acting on instinct, he pulls the trigger, and the beast collapses before it can launch an attack. A truly heart-stopping moment. Just a split second slower, and it might not have been the boar lying on the ground. Another threat eliminated in the blink of an eye. Hunting wild boars is not just a passion, it's a battle for survival between humans and the savage claws of these monstrous creatures. Only fearless, experienced hunters have the grit to handle life or death situations like the one just witnessed. Deep in the forests of Tajikistan, where rice fields are the only lifeline for local villagers, wild boars are more than just untamed beasts. They are a destructive force threatening both the harvest and the fragile farming economy. With razor-sharp tusks and clever instincts, these animals can flatten entire fields in the blink of an eye. Finn's hunting team is prepared to enter the danger zone, risking everything to protect the crops and safeguard the peace of the farming community. Will they emerge victorious, or will this fierce enemy force them to pay the ultimate price? The hunt begins now. The weather today is perfect. The snow is slowly melting, and Finn's hunting team immediately moves toward the hillside region of Tajikistan. As soon as they arrive, the team spreads out and takes their pre-assigned positions. Within just 5 minutes, through the binoculars, a wild boar is spotted foraging. Completely unaware, it has stepped into the crosshairs. No hesitation. A series of precise, practiced movements are carried out in seconds. A single shot is all it takes. The beast drops instantly. That first gunshot echoes through the hills, marking the official start of the hunt. Following the remaining tracks, Finn moves steadily through the rugged terrain. His eyes scan the surroundings constantly, missing no movement. There's a sound coming from the bushes ahead. Step by step, he closes in with silent precision. The instinct was right. A wild boar is hiding in the underbrush. A sharp, decisive shot rings out. The target is immediately neutralized. A clean, calculated move that makes this land just a little bit safer. The air grows colder, and Finn wastes no time tracking his next target. After moving for a while, he pauses and takes cover behind a bush. His focus never wavers. Every sense is pushed to its limit. In a split second, the bark of a hunting dog pierces the silence. At the same moment, a dark figure enters the line of sight. Without a single wasted motion, the shot is fired. The bullet strikes true. One more threat was eliminated. One more layer of peace was restored to this land. At the same time, Leon is locked into position, waiting for the beast to appear. A massive dark figure charges straight toward him. Leon stays calm. With firm control, he pulls the trigger and unleashes a powerful shot. The bullet hits its mark. The beast goes down, surrounded by the pack of hunting dogs. What do you think about that moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. The weather grows colder, but the fighting spirit of Finn and his team remains unshaken. Their eyes are more focused than ever. Finn stays hidden in position, waiting with steady patience. Before long, a familiar silhouette strolls into view. It has chosen the wrong path. A sharp, dry shot rings out, instantly ending the boar's movement. Another trophy is claimed by Finn. This area is now spared from the brutal destruction of savage tusks. The pursuit continues, pressing on before darkness completely takes over the land. Just minutes later, Finn spots two more wild boars making their way back to their den. Without hesitation, a burst of gunfire is unleashed. The target's steps come to a complete stop. One more threat neutralized, swift, clean, and so precise there was no room for error. Today's hunt was not just driven by passion. It was a sacred duty to protect every inch of this land and bring peace to the people who live here. Every moment of strategy and strength was a contribution to the safety and progress of the community. And we know one thing for sure: without the courage of our teammates, the tireless support of local farmers, and the timely backing of the local authorities, this mission could never have been completed. They are the ones who gave us the strength to see it through. This journey now comes to a close. If you want to witness more high-stakes encounters and intense showdowns, don't forget to like, share, and follow the channel. See you in the next hunt!
Thousands of hectares of farmland in Bulgaria are being ravaged by wild boars, causing millions of dollars in damage. Crops are destroyed, livelihoods are shaken, and fear is spreading fast across the region. In the bone-chilling cold, Finn and his hunting team push deep into the frozen forest where every step forward could mean life or death. Will they manage to take the shot before the beast vanishes into the wilderness? Get ready for the most intense, heart-pounding moments of this wild boar hunt. Morning light pierces through the thick blanket of snow covering the forests of Bulgaria. Finn's hunting team moves in silence, every step carefully calculated. The air is tight with tension, every sense locked in. Suddenly, the hounds break the silence. The prey has been found. Finn wastes no time, moving swiftly toward the signal. Through the scope, the wild boar comes into full view. Calm and focused, he lines up the shot. Squeeze! The gun cracks through the cold air. The boar stumbles, takes a few shaky steps, then collapses into the snow. A flawless takedown thanks to perfect teamwork with the dogs. In a hunt like this, support isn't optional, it's everything. Wasting no time, the team pushes deeper into the forest. Every step is steady, nothing escapes their watchful eyes. Suddenly, a dark blur flashes across their line of sight. A single gunshot cracks the silence. Fast, clean, and deadly accurate. The boar drops on the spot. In that split second, Finn showcases unmatched precision, flawless instincts, perfect execution. As the last light of day fades and the temperature drops sharply, the hunting team quietly begins to pull back toward the rendezvous point, believing the chase is over. But then, Finn's sharp eyes catch a subtle movement in the distance. He crouches low, steady hands on the trigger. A single shot rings out. The boar drops silently. No thrashing, no sound, just stillness. Another sliver of peace restored to this land. Quiet but relentless. The snow had begun to melt after days of eerie stillness, revealing the cold, damp earth beneath. On the western hillside, Finn's team moved in silently, taking up their planned positions. 10 minutes passed. Finn remained razor-focused, eyes locked onto every twitch, every flicker of movement. Then, just beyond the trees, a dark figure slipped into view. Instinct took over. His finger squeezed the trigger with precision. The dry crack of the rifle shattered the silence. The boar collapsed instantly, never even knowing what hit it. It paid the price for the ruined crops and the chaos it brought to this land. His eyes locked onto a group of wild boars quietly concealed in the underbrush. With lightning-fast reflexes and zero hesitation, he adjusted his rifle, took aim, and squeezed the trigger. One boar dropped instantly, the rest scattered in a frenzy. Without missing a beat, Finn signaled his team a new wave of the hunt was already underway. Moments later, the hounds let out a sharp cry. The target had been spotted. James surged forward, eyes locked with unwavering focus. The critical moment arrived in a flash. One clean, decisive shot, dead on target. Almost simultaneously, signals lit up from other positions. One after another, shots rang out, silencing the danger for good. The battle ended as quickly as it began, restoring peace to the land. For now, the people could rest easy at least this time. This hunt has come to an end. The destroyers of the harvest have finally been stopped. Victory didn't belong to the brave marksmen alone, but was the result of seamless coordination between local farmers, authorities, and the